This video is about Nile Rodgers. He's a musician and composer, as well as a music producer, who has worked with a huge number of artists covering a wide range of music. He was born 19th of September 1952 in the Lower East Side in New York City, New York, USA. His mother was 14 years old when she had him. His father was a musician, but Nile only saw him a few times. He played the flute and clarinet before learning to play the guitar at 16 and started playing it in African, Persian, Latin, jazz and boogaloo bands. In 1970, he met bassist Bernard Edwards, and they formed a band called the Big Apple Band, which was renamed in 1977 to Chic and became one of the most successful bands of the disco era. The success of Chic singles led to label Atlantic offering Nile and Bernard the opportunity to produce any act on its roster, and they chose Sister Sledge and the album We Are Family in 1979. The two worked on producing a lot of records together, but Nile also produced many records without Bernard. In 1980, they wrote songs for and produced the album Diana for Diana Ross, and in 1981, they produced Deborah Harry's album Cuckoo. Nile also produced the 1989 Diana Ross album Working Overtime. In 1983, he produced the David Bowie album Let's Dance, and later his 1993 album Black Tie, White Noise, as well as some singles. Also in 1983, he produced the single Original Sin for the Australian band In Excess. He later produced music for other Australian artists, including Rock Melons, Tina Arena, Kylie Minogue and Keith Urban. In 1984, he produced the Madonna album Like a Virgin. Also in 1984, he remixed Duran Duran's The Reflex, produced The Wild Boys, and later several albums starting with Notorious in 1986. He also produced a couple of songs for Peter Gabriel that year. In 1985, he produced albums for Sheena Easton, Jeff Beck, Thompson Twins, Mick Jagger and others, as well as a single for Kim Carnes and David Bowie and Mick Jagger's single Dancing in the Street. In 1986, he produced Laurie Anderson's album Home of the Brave, Philip Bailey's album Inside Out, Brian Ferry's song Help Me, Al Jarreau's album L is for Lover, Grace Jones' album Inside Story, and Freddie Mercury's song Time. In 1987, he produced a couple of songs for Drap, the song Red Rain for Peter Gabriel, Terry Gonzalez's album Is There Rockin' in This House, Grace Jones' songs Party Girl and Victor Should Have Been a Jazz Musician, and Out Loud's album Out Loud. In 1988, he produced Play That Funk for BMOC, a couple of tracks on Debbie Harry and Blondie's album Once More, Into the Bleach, the song Somebody's Brother for Canine Posse, the song More Than Physical for Christopher Max, and the song Coming to America for The System. In 1989, he produced half of the B-52's album Cosmic Thing, the songs Cosmic Thing, Dry Country, Deadbeat Club, Rome, Topaz, and Follow Your Bliss, and later their album Good Stuff in 1992. Also in 1989, he produced the Dan Reed Network album Slam, the Daryl Hall and John Oates song Love Train, Carol Davis' album Heart of Gold, and Eddie Murphy's I Got It. In 1990, he produced a couple of songs for Dan Reed Network, the album Why for Mocha Soul, the album 1990 for Ole Ole, the Stray Cats album Let's Go Faster, the Vaughan Brothers album Family Style, and the song A Little Bit of Love for Paul Young. In 1991, he produced the Dan Reed Network album The Heat, the songs Everybody Move and My Beating Heart for Kathy Dennis, Ghibli Wise One's self-titled album, Rick Ocasek's album Fireball Zone, Charlie Sexton's song Tennessee Plates, and the song The Sky is Crying for Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Rest of the 90s were relatively quiet. Some of the work during this time is album for B-52s, David Bowie and Duran Duran, the song Stronger Together for Rock Melons, the All for One song Keep It Going On, Come to Butthead for Beavis and Butthead, Martha Burns' album Virginia Slim's Woman Thing Music Volume 1 Pop, Eric Clapton's song Stone Free, Samantha Cole's songs Down in Love and What You Do to Me, Brian Ferry's song Dance with Life, Martha's album Azabash, David Lee Roth's album Your Filthy Little Mouth, Spoon's album Collectible Spoons, 2 Jimmy Vaughan albums, and the songs Cold Heart, Cold Heart, and Shed a Tear for Wet, Wet, Wet. In the first decade of the 21st century, he produced the album A Great Long While for Strange Folk, Norma Jean's album Norma Jean, Cheb Mami's album Delali, the album Just Me for Tina Arena, Michael Bolton's album Only a Woman Like You, and the album Astronaut for Duran Duran. In the next decade, he produced the song Lay Me Down for Avicii, Daft Punk's song Get Lucky, the song The Other Boys for Kylie Minogue, the song Because of You for Phil Collins, and the album I Love My Lady for Johnny Mathis. Since then, he produced the song One More for S.G. Lewis and the song Law of Attraction for Sheila. In October 2010, he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. He was given all clear in 2013. In 2017, a growth on his right kidney was diagnosed as 2 different cancers within one mass. The mass was surgically removed in November 2017. He said he expected a full recovery. At his performance at the Hollywood Bowl on July the 4th, 2019, he announced that he was 100% cancer-free. He has received many awards for his work, including induction to Dance Music Hall of Fame, 5 Grammy Awards, induction to Grammy Hall of Fame, induction to Songwriter Hall of Fame, and induction to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.